The video game industry is in a sorry state, to say the least. Throughout the years, I've witnessed a lot of awesome online MMORPGs or FPS games die on me. And honestly, it's quite sad. It truly is sad to see one of your favorite games that you used to enjoy with your friends or even randoms that you meet online just poof, disappear into the ether. But why? Why are we letting this happen? The Stop Killing Game initiative by Ross has managed to poke a hornet nest within the industry that people refuse to see to this day. I've seen so many people talking about all these games that cannot be preserved and how difficult it is, but nobody seems to see that we already have examples, which is why I'm making this video, to talk about these examples. In the past, we used to know how to preserve video games. I'm still able to play Unreal Tournament 2004 to this day offline and online in community servers, even though Epic Game delisted the game. You can no longer buy it anywhere, and yet they give their blessing for it to be preserved by the community. You can play Unreal 99 and 2004 for free. Just grab them from archive. And yet, we cannot do this with modern games? I can still play Counter-Strike 1.5 just fine. Here I am playing it with bots, with pod bots. And yet, we cannot preserve modern games? Remember, this is the mod version of Counter-Strike, before it became 1.6 and officially commercial by Valve. This is running on the one version of Half-Life, i.e. the disc version of Half-Life. So if it works on modern systems, how is it not possible to preserve games and have an end-of-life plan for modern games and MMOs? How did I witness so many amazing free-to-play games dying? Even buy-to-play games died. As much as people hate Concord, it didn't deserve to die like this. Of course, Concord is not really good. It had a lot of things wrong. The aesthetic, the gameplay, the feel, the vibe, again, it was just wrong. And nobody wanted to play it, and rightfully so, but it deserved to be preserved so people can at least learn from its mistake and hopefully make something better. I've seen people defending this practice of killing games, stating that games should, or publishers should be able to sunset these games as they choose to. No, people paid money for it. They shouldn't be sunsetted. People buy skins, people buy games to enjoy. Not only that, it's beyond that in fact. Games are art. We need to preserve it as art. You cannot just say that, hey, I'm just gonna sunset this game because it's no longer making money, and then it disappears. You cannot just grab a book and just burn it. How would you feel? Even if you didn't pay money for it, it feels bad to see a book disappear. How would you feel if the Mona Lisa got stashed away and nobody is able to see it in person? It will feel great, right? Of course not. It's a piece of art. Art should be enjoyed by the people. Video games are art. You cannot just make them disappear. There's a game I truly enjoyed a couple of years ago on mobile. It was a very cool game, a mix between Persona and Devil May Cry. It was a very cool hack and slash game, gacha game. I'm not really into gacha games. In fact, I do not like playing gacha games, but this one was unique. It really was. It had good art style, but nobody remembers it. The name was V-Game, and it disappeared. Nobody talks about it. Nobody knows about it. Even Google doesn't know about it. You may be asking, why do I not like playing gacha games? Well, for this exact reason. Gacha games are single-player games with an online feature. They can disappear at any moment. And I do not want to invest my time into something that I know for a fact that may just close down. It happened with this game. If you search V-Game on Google right now, you won't be finding anything. It's so obscure. You will find some information here and there, but nothing concrete. It's not really there. It doesn't exist. It as if never existed. If I didn't play it for a month on a Japanese server, I would have no idea this game existed in the first place. It's such a shame, because it's a great game, it's an amazing game, I loved it. Then again, naming your game V-Game isn't really smart. It was obscure. It had so many quirks that it was very unique. You could teleport between Japan and China. It was very unique, and I loved the aesthetic. The culture bridge made it unique, and I wish for it to come back which is why we need Stop Killing Games to succeed, even though it's not retroactive, which is sad, because I want many old games to come back. And you cannot tell me that it's not possible to refurbish this game into a indie offline game, a single player indie game. It is fully possible because it didn't really require a server to play. It wasn't offline, it still needed to be online like Genshin Impact. But you can transform these games into single player games. It was running on Unity engine. So you cannot tell me that you cannot transform it. And believe me, if they transformed the game into an indie game and sell it for 20 or 40 bucks on Steam, it will be a hit because it feels like it's a single player game. It really felt like it. It felt like a fully fledged single player game just specifically transformed into a gacha game. I've seen people defending, saying that it's not possible to transform these games. No, it is possible. It's hard. If you didn't account for it from the start, yes. This is specifically why Stop Killing Games is advocating for an end-of-life plan from the get-go. Examples like Unreal, which I mentioned before. Even though they weren't meant to be preserved, they were meant more for PCs that were not connected to the internet, because believe it or not, PCs back then didn't really have internet connections. We had CDs to get games and software and information in general, like educational CDs and DVDs. It was a different time. And yes, they weren't created really for preservation mindset, but it so happened they did. And it's a great example. Not only that, we have a good example for a free-to-play game that is still preserved to this day. Many free-to-play games are still preserved by the community to this day. One example is Dirty Bomb. Dirty Bomb is still playable to this day thanks to the community. The game stopped receiving support from the official devs years ago, and it's still playable to this day. Brink is fully free on Steam and still playable thanks to the community to this day as well. Hence why when you see people telling you that no, it's not feasible, it's not possible, or publishers telling you that we cannot do it, it's not true. Of course, it's going to take a little bit of time if you didn't account for it from the beginning, like I said before. However, it is possible. You're probably asking, if it's possible, why is nobody doing it? Well, people did it before, but why are publishers not doing it now? Well, it's easy, really. There is no financial incentive for them to do it. Publishers are like kids in a playground. In my country, they say in my language, نلعب ولا نحرم. If I don't play, nobody shall play, basically. If they do not have it all, nobody shall enjoy the games they made, even though they paid money for it. It's a mixture between greed and pettiness. Really. I've seen this happen before. They take away a game, then republish it under a different name or sell it to someone else that republishes it. I've seen so many free-to-play games do this. I'm looking at you, Critica, and they do the same thing over and over again, expecting things to change, which is the definition of madness. Yeah, this industry is crazy. It's so insane you're making Voss blush. Heck, even Einstein wouldn't be able to solve this equation. There's the question of security. If they give it to the community, if they give the game to the community, how about the security issues that may result? You do not want to ruin their reputation, right? Here's the thing. Once you stop supporting the game, why not just release a security patch, a massive security patch as an end of life? Then put a banner and say that this game is no longer supported by us, it's supported by the community, so your gameplay may vary. Better yet, why not have a site that lists servers that are secure so that people can play on them? Would you look at that? Cops passing by with the sirens on as I'm talking about security. You can't make this stuff up. As I was saying, nothing is stopping publishers to put in the effort. Developers do not want to see their hard work go to waste just because some publishers decided it's no longer feasible and it's no longer making money anymore. I've seen developers releasing assets, games even, just so they do not get lost and forever forgotten. I'm so glad that Stop Killing Games initiative exists. Truly, Ross is doing God's work here. And it looks like that publishers are being afraid. Video Game Europe made a huge mistake by covering issues that technically are non-issues. It shows that they are afraid. And this initiative can succeed. And hopefully it does. To be honest with you, I didn't want to make any video about this. I feel like everyone is talking about this subject, and I didn't want to be another drop in the bucket. But I've seen that people do not give any example about games that are actually doing a great work at proving that you can preserve games, whether be it free to play or pay to play. Of course, I didn't cover every single one. It would take me hours and hours, but you get the gist of it. And most importantly, since I'm someone who covers indie games, obscure games, standalone mods, and everything that is just fun, interesting, and is obscure, I couldn't really just not talk about it. If you made it this far, thank you very much. Honestly, I wasn't planning on making any video. My microphone sounds like a hurricane, so I'm using my built-in headset mic. It's not really the best, but what can you do? Do me a favor. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and share. I've been doing this for a while. I've never asked for people to subscribe and any of that. Don't ring the bell. It's annoying, I know. But I would love to reach 1K before the end of the year, if possible, to give me the motivation to do this more. If you liked it, of course. And as always, see you next time. Inshallah.